Are you looking to buy land in Montana? In this video, I'm going to show you a couple tools that I use that'll be very helpful for you if you're looking around Montana to find out who your neighbors are going to be, how big the piece of land is, what it borders, and all of these things you can do now on the computer that come in very handy. Okay, so let's start out with the Montana Cadastral map here, or the site, and I will leave this link down below in the notes if you want to check it out yourself and play around with it. It's an awesome site. So as you can see on the main page, it shows all of Montana's 56 counties, and then where it really gets handy, I'll zoom in a little bit here. You can see the different colors, the different shadings. Those mean different things. The green is Forest Service land. This purple up here is actually Glacier Park. And then over here, Glacier County, that's reservation land. And there's the different reservations around Montana. You can see the different shading. But if you're looking for property and you want to know like what your neighbors are going to be like, or if you're just browsing around for property, there's a couple things you should use to give yourself more information. I mean, you're more than welcome to call me, but this will help you if you ever just want to play around with it at your own house. Um, this site breaks down every piece of property in Montana, which is very cool. And so let's zoom in a little bit on our area here in Flathead Valley. So as you can see, let me zoom out a little bit more, just to give you, oops, that's too far. Just to give you a little perspective, each one of those squares is a township, which is 36 square miles, and each township has 36 sections in it, which is 1 square mile each. So there's a lot of land here in Montana. Let's zoom back in on that and zoom down. And so again, if you're looking for a specific piece of property, or if I get people calling me, hey, I want to border Forest Service land. Well, with this tool here, you can see if the property borders Forest Service land. So you can click on any one of these sections or just keep zooming in. And as you can see here on the, as you look around, some of these sections are divided up pretty small. Obviously, when you get into the towns, they're very small where you got city lots, but you just need to zoom in more and you can, each individual lot, you can get the information on, like this one, for example. I'm going to blur it out. Those people don't, I'm sure they probably don't want me advertising their particular piece of property. But when you click on this, it's all public information. It shows you, the acreage is 4.7 acres on that particular lot. And you can see if there's, buildings on it or not. It looks like it's just empty ground. We have 4.4 acres. And you can do that on any piece of property, around town. You can see the size of it. You can see the buildings that are on it. Anything you want to find out about that particular property. But if we zoom back out, like I was saying, if you're looking for stuff out in the mountains and you want to, see if it borders Forest Service land, let me go west of town here. Yeah, see over by Ashley Lake, this green is, government land. It doesn't even show up as who the owner is. Let me check. No, some of these are just blank. But on the legend here, you can see U.S. Department of Agriculture, and they break down all the land, and by the color coding it of the land. So again, just a really handy tool. Let's zoom out again. I want to show you another thing that I discovered. So in Montana, people ask all the time if you're allowed to buy land on the Indian reservation, and as you can see here, this outline shows the Flathead Reservation, and the orange color is actually tribal land. The answer is yes, you can buy land on the Indian reservation, but not all of it can be sold to people that aren't part of the tribe. So if you zoom in on, the Flathead Reservation here, we'll zoom in a little further. But this, like I said, the orange color here, it shows up as, the tribal ownership, and gives the address for their headquarters in Pablo there. But, like this piece of land here is not owned by the tribe. And it can be sold if you're not part of the tribe. And anything that you see online on MLS, if it's for sale on there publicly, it's not going to be the tribal land. That won't show up ever on MLS. But interesting that you can zoom or find out anywhere you're at. If you're looking at this particular piece of property, you can see that it borders tribal land, or this one totally borders it on 3 sides. So it's a good thing to know, a good little tool to use. And then this covers the whole state. So, as we zoom out, you can go over here to the east side of the state, which is a lot more wide open, and, zoom in on some of this and see what's going on here. And a lot of this is wildlife management areas, I believe, is the blue. So you can, again, let's go to the legend and see. Now, state of Montana, state land. So that's all, land that can't be purchased. But again, this is another reservation down here, but you can, find out property in any part of Montana, zoom in on, a particular piece if you're looking at it, and find out who the neighbors are. Each one, like I said earlier, each one of these squares, to put it in perspective, is 640 acres. So that's a pretty big chunk of ground. And it looks like this one, because eastern Montana, there's a lot more that isn't divided up. But you can see the deal here, and down here is 640 acres. So that's a whole section of land. And the other thing you can use, and I've showed you this in other videos, is, and you can use both of these combined with one another. Oops, I keep going the wrong way. Let's zoom back out to the full state here. But you can also use the Google Maps tool. And here again, it does not, the difference between the two is, with the Google Maps, you can get a satellite view and see what the land looks like around there. But it doesn't break it down like the cadastral does for the actual piece of property. So if you're looking at a piece of land that has a river going through it, like this one, you can, zoom in on Google Maps and do your research there, and then go back to the cadastral map and see how it is laid out, and who you can find out who your neighbors are, who borders you. And if it's, like this is, BLM land. So again, a handy tool. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. I will leave the links for this down in the notes. But it's kind of a fun thing to play around with, and very, handy, and gives you tons of information on anything you want about any piece of property in Montana. And like I said, it covers the entire state, all 56 counties. So I hope that helps.
Thank you for watching our video. Please call, text, or email for more information. And don't forget to watch our other videos about Montana.